Hey everybody, John Parks here from Florida State University with the amazing Justin Ball back here on the camera. Our job today is to talk about how to up your recording game for competitions like the International Percussion Ensemble competition that PAS sponsors, but really anything, pre-screenings, even vanity recordings. So let's get right to it. One of the things that I've noticed in judging audio-only competition submissions over the past couple of years, whether it's for PAS or any other organization, is that a lot of the recordings are being delivered in mono. Now, it's possible that a lot of you don't know the difference between mono and stereo. Well, think about this. Stereo is the way that you hear. You've got your left ear and your right ear. Your ability to locate things in space or on stage is based upon air moving from an instrument and hitting one ear in front of the other. Milliseconds of a difference, but your brain translates that into locating whatever is moving the air in space. So if I have timpani over on the right, they play something, it's going to hit this ear first, or this microphone first, right before it hits this one, which allows my brain to locate it in space. You need two for that, at least, but you can get away with two. Imagine, though, if I only had one ear and I put it right in front of my face, like this. Another way to think about it would be maybe taking the curtains on stage and pulling them so there's only a small opening, maybe 3 feet, and for you to try and experience a concert with the whole group back behind that curtain. You're only going to hear through here, theoretically. You're not going to hear the image as it actually exists in space. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that you have two microphones, not one. Here is an example with video of a live performance, just a snippet of us playing in a non-competition recording environment. But I should say, this is exactly what we do when we do come in and play live concerts that we hope to use for a competition. The first one, and they're both with video so you can see exactly what's going on stage, is in stereo. Two microphones only, pan to the right and left. The second one is mono. It's the exact same thing, I just didn't pan the microphones. Listen to the first one and listen to the second one. Tell me that is not a massive difference. The critical step that I feel like is getting missed sometimes is that the microphones are not being panned. There's a panning control in your software that allows you to point the microphones like a flashlight, which creates that time of arrival difference and therefore gives you a stable stereo image. If you leave those microphones unpanned, imagine that they're both flashlights. They're only showing you what's straight in front of them. And yes, they will pick up everything, but again, it's kind of like you've just brought the curtains in, so everything is super narrow because it's all coming right down the middle. In fact, you could think of it kind of like that famous painting where the guy has the apple in front of his face. Just think about one ear being right there, and that's all that you're going to experience. I can tell you that engineers and people interested in audio love to geek out about gear and how they do stuff. So let's say you have a student or an OPS worker that's up in the sound booth. Just take a second, go up there and say, hey, I'm really interested in what you're doing. It looks like that microphone that I'm looking at from audience perspective, that one on the left, that needs to be hard panned all the way to the left, right? And this one goes all the way to the right on track 2. That's awesome. The only thing that you need to worry about after that is saying, hey, we're going to play really loud, like the loudest thing that we're going to play so that you can set levels and leave them where they are. So what you'll want to try and do, come down, make sure that they've got their levels in order, and then play the loudest thing that you're going to play, giving yourself at least 5 or 6 decibels of headroom to keep yourself out of clipping territory. Then, if the students go after it a little bit more because they're super excited on the live show, you're still not going to clip anything, and therefore you won't get anything distorted. Okay, so Justin's going to shoot me doing this, but I'm also going to have a screen recording here so you can see it a little bit more closely up front. I'm using a program called Audition that's made by Adobe, which is especially good for students because most universities have systems where you're able to access the programs in the Creative Cloud basically for free as a student. This is what this looks like in a multi-track environment. Other tools that you will see here, I've set up a small stereo array here so that it's kind of at my head level so I can show you exactly how everything is set up. So we have our microphones, stereo bar, which is basically what the two microphones are mounted on, the cables that come down. You'll notice too that the left microphone up there is red, the right one is green. Now that doesn't mean anything except that I know which cable I'm attaching to each input, which is kind of a big deal and important and an easy mistake to make. So over here, I'm going in here and I'm choosing mono input 1. Here in track 2, I'm using mono input 2. The left channel is mono and the right channel is mono so that we can pan them to the outside. And it's the combination of those two channels, hard panned, that creates the stereo image. And it's also really helpful sometimes too. You don't have to do this, but I like doing it, is actually labeling what the microphones are. So in this case, these are DPA 4006 transformerless omnidirectional microphones, which is quite a mouthful. They're amazing microphones. So what I do is on the screen, you can see that I've gone in and put DPA-L on channel 1 or track 1 and DPA right on track 2 or channel 2. I've made the input assignments right here and right here, as you can see. And up here, I'm gonna arm this for recording. So I hit that little red button. Now check this out. Down here along where the master levels are, can you see that they are both exactly the same? Welcome to mono. What we do up here is we pan using this. You see it says stereo balance, and it may say something similar on like Logic or whatever it is that you like to use. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna push it all the way over to the left. And then I'm gonna take this one and push it all the way over to the right. Now look what's happening down here. That's awesome. We've got two different signals. The one on top right here is the left, and the one on the bottom right here is the right. So you can see how simple all of this stuff is to put together, and it's really not that much gear. It's not that intimidating. Two microphones. If you want a stereo bar, that's great. A lot of microphone pairs come with them. One stand, two cables, interface of choice, software of choice. Into your laptop, you're all set. It's also important to note one tiny thing. Audacity, which is free and probably a lot of you have used, automatically pans your microphones right and left, which is kind of a nice thing, especially considering that it is in fact free. I use Audition because in multi-track view, I have the capability of changing the panning to do whatever I want it to do. Also, if I use extra microphones, I can position those panning-wise in the image to enhance certain parts of that image if I choose. But you should know you only need two to make a really stunning, compelling representation of what your group is capable of. And I think that's what everybody's goal is. So those of you who know a lot about recording may find this kind of simplistic, and it is. But this is literally almost foolproof as long as you route everything correctly and you pan everything correctly. The only thing you have to do past that is mix down those two channels, and voila, you have a stereo file. Save it in whatever format you want and submit it through Dropbox or whatever the delivery system is going to be, and you are done. If you need any help speccing out gear, if you need help listening to your recordings or diagnosing what's happening or microphone types, basically anything that you can think of to ask, send me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and we'll go from there. Until next time, John Parks and Justin Ball coming to you from Florida State University saying happy performing and happy recording.